I just want us to take this opportunity to do some revision, check a few questions, and look at areas that we might have overlooked. And that's why I've placed this conference on topic 1, so at least we can be able to review areas we had looked at and then possibly ask questions on and discuss areas that must have had some issues. I believe you are able to see that display of some definitions of human relation, and you can be able to take a note of the same. Let me make it a little bit larger so that it's quite visible from your side. Now, taking a note of those definitions is essentially you have several definitions given by different authors, but essentially they are talking about relationship between organization and the people working in them, that how people behave together, how they interact with one another in a work environment. So in this particular case, we are looking at human resources and their interrelationship and the relationship with the work that they do in organizations. So in defining human relations, these authors have tended to identify one particular direction that they are trying to let everyone understand human relation to be. It's mostly behavior at work, how people interrelate at work, how they interrelate with the work environment. So for all those definitions, they can be able to put us in a good state to be able to understand what human relation is. So you can be able to look at those definitions. I had uploaded this. You can access them from the portal. You just click on them and they download. In analysis of human relation, is just tells us what human relation is. It tells us it's a relationship between people and in a particular work setting. So you take a look at these. It just tells you what essentially human relation is. Relationship between groups of people at their different working environment, or social and interpersonal human relations, is the ability to work effectively with others. So that is essentially key. For example, in our course, that is food and beverage management. You normally work in an environment where there's constant interaction with others, with other employees and with customers and with management, for example. And the work setting for this particular profession ensures that there is an interaction, constant interaction between the workers among and the management, between workers and management, between workers and employees. And everyone interacts because you receive customers, you serve them, you relate with one another. Somebody does this job, another does that. And if you have noticed, it's the industry that has been affected a lot because of this environmental challenge known as COVID. You find that most restaurants, for example, most hospitality facilities have either have to scale down their operations or have closed down completely, because you find that human interaction is an essential aspect of this industry. And COVID has just actually worked to deal with that. Objectives of human relation we had looked at. We say that they give us an understanding of people's attitudes and behavior. It gives us an understanding of people's attitudes. It also helps us to develop sensitivity towards one another, that we need to deal with people as humans and not as to deal with people as humans and to regard and to respect them. Well, we also looked at it from the aspect of understanding the work situations, for example. Another key issue is problem solving, because where so many people interact with one another, problems arise and you have to deal with them to ensure effectiveness. To ensure effectiveness of this kind of interaction. Then, of course, how to cooperate with one another, how to motivate people, how to increase productivity, how to ensure people remain in the organization. So all those are essential part and objective of human relation. We also looked at ways of developing human relation within an organization, and we tackled employer-employee relationship. That is very important. This is the first, before someone comes into the organization, all people relate is the first and foremost thing, relationship that is established is between the employer and employee, because the very first person you see when you get into an organization is the employer. Through maybe the interviewing process, when one is being recruited, they are brought into the organization, you first of all get to know who is the employer. That is the first point of contact as far as this kind of relation is concerned. So that employer-employee relation is very key, because there is a mutual benefit that the two groups must give to the other. The employer is looking for someone to work. The employee is looking for to advance their career and even to benefit from their profession. And so that relation is very important. So you need to take a note of the same. Secondly, we also looked at relationship between employee-employee relationships. Yes, that is employee with their fellow employee relationship. Yes, that is very important. That's very important. Ruth, you can mute. Those who have unmuted, you can mute unless you have a question, okay? Caroline, you have a question? You have an issue? To avoid the echo, let's mute. Ruth, you have logged in different gadgets, huh? We also have relationship between employees, that is how they relate to one another. That is very key, and that normally advances organization's ability to achieve its objectives. We also have relationship between employees, management, and outsiders. This is also very key, very important. How does the organization and its employees relate with those people from outside the organization? That is the community around, the customers, the authorities, that is the government departments and such like. So those three aspects of relationship is important. But before we get to that, there are some qualities that also we had identified, especially of a good human relation manager. What qualities should they have? I think we have been able to learn this for a time, and now we are quite well advanced with this, especially owing to the fact that we are also taking management as a unit. So we can be able to compare some of the qualities given here and some of the qualities we obtain from the other unit. But of course, a manager should be knowledgeable. They should be good communicators. They need to have a proper time management. They need to be disciplined, trustworthy, honest, full of integrity, truthful. And they need to be able to have all those qualities. So you need to remember that, very important. And of course, don't think that these qualities belong to some person occupying a certain office. These are the qualities that you yourself, as a human relation manager, because you are supposed to take charge of your environment, take charge of the place where you are. So you need to exhibit these qualities, because though you may enter into an organization as at the entry level qualification, but you don't want to remain at that position for the entirety of your career. You have to grow. Therefore, when you begin to cultivate these qualities early on, that will put you in a position where you can provide leadership. You can be able to manage. You can be able to exercise this quality even as you grow in your career. And those the functions also that we identified are also very key. You need to take a look at those functions. They are very important, like resolving conflict. These are leadership functions mostly. These are organizing teams, communicating, educating, training, encouraging, motivating, and even formulating employees' rewards and compensations and benefits. These are some of the roles that you need to understand how to play. You work, for example, let's say, for example, in a hotel, or you are in charge of a particular department, you are in charge of maybe the entire facility. It will reach a point where now you have to decide how much do you reward your team. How much do you reward those people whom you are supervising? So those are some of the essential things that you need to remember. I had mentioned about employee relationship, employee-employer relationship. We had employee, and now these are now obligations that an employee needs to have. They need to acknowledge who their employer is and respect them. They need to observe good communication channels. For example, you want to report an issue, you need to follow the established channels of communication. You need to ensure that your work is productive as far as your contribution to the organization is concerned. So all those issues are very important. How much honesty are you going to uphold? What level of confidentiality? Do you give constructive suggestions when they are required? So those are important aspects. Employee-employee relationship, very important. How employees respect one another, how they consult each other, how they support each other as far as the work is concerned. So those are very key aspects that one need to remember. You being a team player, do you participate in conflict resolution? Do you share responsibilities? Do you motivate your team members? Do you work together with them? Do you ensure that there is harmonious and and a cohesive working environment, do you avoid vices like gossiping, like spreading rumors, like incitement, like spreading bad or negative energy or bad blood in the organization? So you ensure that in your work environment, you are a positive contributor and not someone who is detrimental or maybe cause issues. Well, every time you are seen, you are known as, this is the troublemaker has arrived. No, so you need to be able to know how to relate with your team members. Are we together? Another thing we had looked at was the key aspects of human relation, like respect, support, loyalty. We looked at these. Support, how do members support the other? How loyal is one? What are the employees' involvement? The key working environment, recognition. These are very important aspects that the work environment should uphold. Are we together? So just we are just recapping on the same. They are related to compensation. People must be rewarded for what the contribution they give in an organization. When it comes to components of human relation, we also looked at these various aspects. We looked at good communication. We looked at empathy, effective listening. This is very important because it enhances effective communication as well. You need to listen so that you can be able to pick and understand what is going on better. Positive behavior. Ensure you behave in a positive way that enhance mutual respect. That use polite language. You be courteous, be open-minded, accommodative of various differences. Like you might find yourself working in an environment with different races. Now, when you start discriminating by race, now it is becoming inappropriate. Or you find that there are political differences. You don't bring politics at workplace. Or there are cultural differences. You don't bring cultural differences and use it as a way, as a tool, to a cocoon to revert to. So support. You be supportive of one another. You be a motivator. You motivate yourself. You motivate others. You have a positive attitude. Those are very essential aspects of human relation. So essentially, those are the key issues that we looked at and on topic 1, and they are quite important. That you need to remember the same. You need to uphold them because they are timeless. They are issues that will never grow old or will never be outdated. So therefore, as aspiring human relation or aspiring leaders, you need to remember that you can be effective a leader when you motivate others, you interact with others, when you maintain a positive attitude, a positive mind, and you are inspirational. Are we together? So emergence of human relation, what we said about this, that human relations started through scientific managers and those writers, those management writers of many decades ago, especially at the beginning of the Industrial Revolution, when most managers, most company owners we're looking for the best way to ensure people are productive and to achieve high level of productivity. Remember, it's the time when productivity was the essential thing. Get raw materials, produce this product so that they are affordable to consumers. So many industrialists, many producers, many managers were looking for how can they ensure effectiveness in organizations. So we looked at all those theories. So I want you to check on them, find out more, review them, revise them, and how important they are. Like some of the studies that were given by the author on studies, those experiments they did, you can be able to look at them and see how they had impacted on human relation and productivity. So those are the key areas that you need to look at. You also need to look at human relation theories, for example, given by various authors who came up with desire to ensure that the human element is respected in organization, that you don't treat people like robots, that they are machines to just produce, but to take into consideration that people working in the organization also have a life to live. They have a feeling, they have a family, they have their loved one. It's not just you give them a salary and you expect them to produce. So those key issues are very important. So look at the evaluation of human relation theories. Look at some of the limitations of those theories. Limitations may also be considered as challenges or disadvantages. You can be able to take a note of the same. So I'm just going through them because we had covered them. I just want to help us to remind ourselves so that when we start revising, we are in a good position. So those are the key areas that we looked at in topic 1. So I don't know whether there is any question or some issues that require maybe a discussion or is there any question? Ruth, you have been missing out for long, huh? Is Caroline, you have a question? Good. So if there are no questions over that particular area, then I'm gonna take a look at some past paper questions, then we can look at them. But before I get you some questions to tackle, last week I gave a cut, especially in the last 4 topics. And I believe you have checked your results. Yes. Have you checked your results? Mm-hmm. You have checked your results, huh? So everyone knows what they got, eh? Everyone knows what they got. No. Everyone says no. Now there are people who did not complete. Let's see. Let's take a look at it. So do you want it public? Why are you not able to check? I believe in the portal you are able to look at the grades. Let me show you what you are supposed to do. So just as we mark this attendance, and then today, is Catherine in today? Today I have not seen Catherine. Maybe she's late. So what I'm gonna do is to look at that paper to see what was in it and how we did it. It was in the last topic, Human relations. So meanwhile, you can be writing your questions on the public portal, okay? You can be putting your question, or you can ask quiz topic 11 topic. Where was the cat? Cat was on topic. Where they? Oh, good. It is here. It is here. Just before topic 1. 5 attempts. Only 5 people did the cat, Only 5 people, Good, out of 18. Wow. Only 5 people, So when you want to check your grades, there's a button. There is a button known as the grade button. You can always scroll to find out where it is. It is not in this page. I don't want to leave this page, but I'll show you. I'll show you later how to check. But I want us to preview. To preview it, only 5 people attempted. Now, it was a lot of questions were multiple choice. Are you able to see that question? Are you able to see the question? Oh, very good. Caroline, you are not able to see. Oh, no, these are different one. Yes, you can see it. This is a topic known as group development, I think. It is asking, is it group development? No, not group development. It is in conflict management. Just as I told you, there are topics that we're gonna discuss. This is conflict. So you say that forcing is assertive conflict resolution strategy where one party needs are satisfied at another's expense. Which one is this? Which one is this? Which one is this? I think this one is competing. Competing. So your correct answer would be competing. Then there are other methods there that you can be able to use in resolving conflict. The second question was asking which of the following styles of path goal theory of leadership is correctly matched with what it means. We have supportive leadership, directive leadership. These are styles under the path goal theory. We have participative leadership and achievement-oriented. This first one, supportive leader who is friendly and approachable and shows a genuine concern for subordinates. What do you think? This one looks like the correct one. Directive, a leader who asks for and uses. This is definitely not, because the directive leader do not ask for suggestion. What about participative leader? Sets challenging goals for subordinates and shows confidence in them. This is not participative leader. Achievement oriented. Subordinates knows exactly what they are expected of them, and the leader gives specific direction. So what is the correct one? Let me see people trying. Can we get people trying? Which one is correctly matched? Yeah. You can put choice A, B, C, D like that. Which one is correctly matched? Choice A, B, C, D. You can do choice A, B, C, D. So what is the answer? Let me. Yes, Oramisi. Oramisi, you missed the cut. So yeah, it is A is the correct one. That's good. It is A. Because a supportive leader is friendly and approachable and shows genuine concern for others. For example, achievement-oriented leader is the one who sets challenging goals for subordinates. Participative leader is one who asks for and use suggestion from others. While directive leaders they give orders. They give orders and expect the subordinates to follow. So that's relates to that question. The next question that we looked at was the next question is true about autocratic style of leadership. Which one of the is true about autocratic style of leadership? Autocratic style, do they have a two-way communication? No, I don't think. Do they consult? Do they coordinate work? Do they permit them to take initiative? This one is facilitate. I think there was some problem with it, but it's actually the one. Adequately coordinate work, thereby facilitate its completion. I believe this one was not a problem for you, but it's supposed to be facilitate, not facility, but that could not deny you the opportunity to give a right answer. So they don't build two-way communication. They do not consult. They don't permit subordinates to take initiative, but they normally coordinate work so that they facilitate the completion of the work. So that is the answer for that particular question. The next one is the following statements are true about leadership, except there are too many leadership questions. So the statements are true, but which one is not? That is what we are asking. Does it involve mobilizing people? Does it involve mobilizing people? Is it a social influence process which the leader seeks mandatory participation? Does it happen at all levels? That is leadership. Does leadership happen at all levels? So which one is true about leadership? Which one is not true? Sorry, which one is not true about leadership? Let me see what your suggestions are. Are we still together? Or people are now? In this case, what is the true choice is a social influence. Leadership is a social influence process in which the leader seeks mandatory participation. That is wrong. That is wrong. Leaders do not seek mandatory. Mandatory leadership should be voluntary. You expect people to willingly participate, not to be forced to participate. Okay. Right. And then the next question. So this is the answer. Next question. Explain 3 forms of employee contribution to organization's activities. Employees' contribution. Employees' contribution to organization's activities. This is employees, workers' participation, or employees' participation. So what are the forms of contribution? There are so many forms, like participating in work committees, like participating in joint management councils, like participating in team activities, teamwork or work that are done as a team. Like participating in quality management, collective bargaining, job enlargement or enrichment, or where the employees are given complete control, delegation, what is called delegation of activities. So those are areas or forms of employees' participation. So we talk about work committees, joint management, board of representation, even participation through ownership. When shares are sold to employees, then given work delegated to them through complete control, they are given charge of maybe department. Or collective bargaining, where employees are allowed to participate in negotiating for their own pay. So all those are important contributions or participation effort. Are we together? Is there any question up to that point? So any of three of those ones were good enough, Talk of work committees, collective bargaining, delegation, and such like. Those should be important ways of participating. This next question is another matching question. Correctly match the following levels of employees' participation. Correctly match the following levels. Now we talked about forms of participation, and now these are levels of participation. So we had five different levels of participation. We had information sharing level. We had consultative level. We also had associative level. And we also had administrative and decisive levels. So we are been given here some levels. So what we need to do is to just match which one and which one is appropriate. So you would have clicked here, and then you said decisive level talks about giving a degree of or decision making. When you talk of decisive level, you'll be able to match it with what is here. So what is, of all those, I believe you're able to see what is highlighted there. Can I get someone tell me which is the decisive level? Let me check whether it is visible. Oh, okay. Let me see whether it is visible. Is it visible, eh? Oh, the highlights are not visible. Let me see whether it's not visible, eh? Okay, let me scroll it a little bit and then you can tell me whether it is visible from your side. Eh? Mm-hmm. Can I hear someone sharing whether it is visible? Unmute, somebody to unmute, whether those choices are visible. Are they visible?
The choices are not visible.
You can see some blue line there.
Yeah, I can see on choose.
Yeah, on choose. Are you able to see something highlighted there on blue?
Yes.
And then you are able to read them.
But I can't see the 3 choices. The
highlighted
one is the choose only.
The highlighted one. Then there are 2 others below it.
Yeah, the 2 other choose.
Yeah, so what under the choose there, now when you talk about decisive participation, then you have those 3 choices. So what you would have done is to select which choice is it's supposed to, whether it gives degree of sharing of authority, is that decisive? Or it involves a high degree of sharing of views of workers, is that decisive? It gives delegation of authority and responsibility of managerial function. So you'll select the one which is right as far as those choices are concerned. When it comes to consultative, you also highlight there and then you get those 3 choices again. So consultative, what was the view that was expected there? Does consultative involve giving a greater degree of sharing of authority? Does it involve a higher degree of sharing of views? Or does it involve delegation of authority and responsibility? So what do you think? Mm-hmm. It might be sharing of views of workers. Eh? So that's what you would have chosen. Then when it comes to administrative, does it give degree of sharing of authority and responsibility? Does it give delegation of authority and responsibility? So what does administrative, when workers are given the right to administer, what does it involve? So that's what we so you get a question like this, it gives you those options and you can just be able to match those options. Are we together? It's just about matching the options, and then because administrative, consultative, and decisive. Eh? So administrative is more of sharing of authority. So you just needed to choose. Administrative is about sharing of authority and responsibility. That's when workers are given a chance maybe to make decisions, to lead, or to work is delegated to them. Okay, so that's what you needed to just highlight there, and then those options come and then you match them. This one, lack of social support among employees could be a source of what? These are stress in organization stress. Lack of social support among employees could be a source of which kind of stress? Extra organization stress, group stress, or individual stress? This one is obvious. Among employees, this is group stress. How do you prevent conflict in organization? This was well done question. Very simple. There are so many things you can do to prevent conflict. Like, for example, equitable distribution of resources. Talk about that. Equitable distribution of resources. What else? What other way? Let me hear from you. What other way can we deal with stress? Or yes. What other ways? Let me hear from you. Yes. How do we handle stress? Catherine? How do we handle stress? Oh, it's not visible, eh? Okay. Like from a psychiatrist. What is from a psychiatrist? How do you handle stress? You need to remember. You need to remember what we have said. But the question here is actually asking. Let me give you the question here. That was related to the previous question. This one is how explain 3 ways of preventing conflict in organization. Explain 3 ways of preventing conflict in organization. How do we prevent conflict? We talked of equitable distribution. Equitable distribution of resources. What else? Equitable distribution. Good. How else do we handle stress? No, conflict, sorry, conflict. How else do we handle conflict? Oh, Jen Sarah, how do we deal with stress? With conflict, sorry, with conflict. How do we deal with conflict? Outline 3 organizations' coping strategies for dealing with stress. Outline 3 organizations' coping strategies for dealing with stress. Now, this is the question I was asking. Outline 3 organizations' coping strategy for dealing with stress. Now, these are organization related. These are initiatives given by the company. Initiatives started or directed or ordered by the company, like team building. Is a coping strategy that normally organizations do give to enable people to handle stress. So when we talk of organizations coping strategies, what are some of those strategies? For example, creating or coming up with a positive work environment, ensuring that there is a positive work environment where everyone is valued. And then at times you can provide games, you can provide outing, or have maybe, for example, gymnastics in the company, or a place where people can actually release or sports or bodybuilding facilities, for example, normally allows the employees to at least deal with some of the stressful work environment. You can also talk of a work-family initiative whereby there is that work-family balance that people can be able to work at the same time they have time to relate with their family members. And then, of course, you have dealing with those stressful things that employees may have in an environment, especially administrative matters, policy matters, or organizations' laws, rules, and regulation, ensuring that those rules and regulations are formulated in a way that they don't cause stress to people. Such kind of issues, dealing with them so that they don't stress employees. Are we together? The next question is asking is also a matching question. It's matching the various types of conflict with what they mean. So we have the meaning given here, and then you choose which conflict resolution or which type of conflict is it. So it occurs within an individual in situation in which he or she must choose between two alternatives. Now, is that an interpersonal or intrapersonal conflict? Is that interpersonal or intrapersonal conflict? Is it interpersonal or intrapersonal conflict? Jennifer, what do you think? Is it interpersonal or intrapersonal conflict? This one, let me see what you have said. Intrapersonal. Yes, very good. This is intrapersonal conflict because it's a conflict that affects a person within themselves. So here we can talk of intrapersonal conflict. Then this one, conflict also occurs in organization because of differing perception or goals. Now, this one is what kind of a conflict? This is very simple. This is an organizational conflict. This is an organizational conflict. Then conflict between two or more individuals. This is interpersonal conflict. This was very simple. Of course, you need to know what we had discussed about those types of conflicts and get to understand the key aspects that relate to them. Then we have this question. Language barrier is one of the hindrances to employees' interaction with others in organization. If the language used is not similar to one another, this challenge relates to which kind of issue? Language barrier. This is in the last topic called emerging trends in human relation. So is language issue, is it ethical factor? Is it political? Is it sociocultural? Is it economic? Where do you find languages? This one also should be simple. Language is a cultural thing. So we can say that this is a sociocultural factor. This is a sociocultural factor. So that's what we can conclude as far as that is concerned. Then I think this is the last question. The last question, we can talk about technological changes in people's lifestyle, pace of modern living has increased stress and decreased personal well-being. Relates to which kind of stress? Those things relate to which kind of stress? Is it individual stress? Is it organizational stress? Is it extra organizational, or is it group stress? It's also quite simple. People's lifestyle, modern pace of living, technology. This one relates to which kind of stress? People stopped contributing. This one is extra organizational stress. Extra organizational stress. It is not individual, it is not organizational, it is not group, but it is those things that are outside the environment. They are not even there within the company. This is extra organizational stresses. And then you finish your attempt and return and submitting all those attempts. Submit and finish. So that's what you should have done. I believe you could have taken as little time as possible, and then you have your answers. Now, I don't know. You want the result to see the result, the result sheet, or you want your results individually? You want your results individually, or? Mm-hmm. You said individually, eh? Jennifer, how do I give you your results? Oh, I said I'll show you how to get them, eh? What you need to do, to get those results, you come to the main page, the home page, and then you click on grades. You click on grades. You click on grades. Then from there, you can be able to check your grades. Now, what I'm going to show is just now on your grade, you'll see a list of, you'll be able to access your own, because I believe to you it will give you only your grades. It will give you only the grades that you have. Now, what is visible on my page is just the class attendance register. And maybe some of the quizzes I gave you on topic 10 and topic 9. So those are the only things that are visible. So, so when you click on the grades, it will be able to give you your grade. So I don't know whether you have that button. You must have it, because every submission you do will give you an opportunity to view the grade. So you can be able to view those grades from there, okay? Like these ones, like the one that you are able to see here is just the attendance register and the quiz for topic 10, which those who answer those quizzes have the ones I had graded. They have their marks there, okay? But for the cut, it is actually here, but I'm not going to show you because it is not good to show people's grade to others. So just want to tell you that it is here, but I'm going to hide it. So just showing you that your grade must be there. So definitely you'll be able to, these are, at this portion, there is what is written there, cut 1. Cut 1 is there. You can see somewhere where I've placed the cursor. It is there, but I'm not going to show to everyone because it's not right. It is not ethical to show people's grades to others, okay? So if you are not able to access your own grade, then you can ask me, I can send to you individually, okay? Is that understood? Is that well understood? Yes or no? Very good, very good. So if you can't be able to see your grades, then I will be able to send to you, okay? So if you ask me to send to you, I'll do it, okay? Only when you ask me. So I wanted us to look at a few questions. Unless maybe you have a question you can ask before I bring a past paper question. Past paper question. So let me look for a past paper question. You can be able to share with you. So what you are looking at, you can't see the screen. You can't see the. You don't have grade button, okay? Right. You can't see the screen. You don't have the grade button. Okay, so it means I'll be sending to everyone. Okay, I've noted that the screen. I want to put a screen for question papers. So don't mind about the page for the unit. For now, I'm gonna put the screen for a past paper or some questions relating to a past paper. Are you able to see the screen now? You can't see the screen? Can you see the screen? Catherine, you are saying no, you are saying yes. What is now true? Is it you can't see or you see? Is it that the content is not visible or it is completely invisible? Content or the screen itself? Yours is blank. What are the others? What about the others? Maybe what you can do, you can you can try to search it again. Eh? Yeah, maybe now I think Catherine should reload it. Try to reload it again. Yeah, maybe that's the reason why it's blank. But the question is, you can see question number 12A. Outline 4 benefits that may be associated with involving employees in management in an organization. Outline 4 benefits. Outline 4 benefits that may be associated with involving employees in management in an organization. So these are just benefits of involving employees. These ones are quick fire. Can we do a quick fire answering here on question number 12A? Let's do quick fire answering. Eh? One benefit is motivational. Eh? Motivates employees. Eh? What does it do? It enhances career growth. Especially when they are involved in doing all your topic quizzes are not graded. Caroline, you can't see the cut grades. I think it's the last one. Eh? Have you checked? It's not the first one. Eh? You have seen that. Okay, then I'll send to you. And the ones that are saying are not graded. Also, I'll find out why they are not graded, because I think I've graded some of them. So I'll sort out that. Okay, I'll sort it out. But first of all, let's look at this question. Benefits of employees' participation in management. We see that it gives them, it motivates them, it enhances their career growth. What else? What else? It helps deal with organizations' conflicts. You can put your answers there. Benefits of employees' participation in management. Yes, it increases productivity because they feel that the organization is part of them. They are part of the company. Then also we can see that it reduces employees' turnover. It reduces employees' turnover in the sense that people are much more involved and they feel part of the organization. Are we together? Now, question 2. You can add any other idea you can be able to add there. Explain 4 measures that management of an organization may take to prevent intergroup conflict. How do you prevent intergroup conflict? Intergroup conflict. How do you prevent intergroup conflict? When we talk of group conflicts, the conflicts may be between departments, between different sections, between various work groups that are formed in an organization. And how do you prevent such conflicts? How do you control such conflicts? How do you deal with such conflict? One way of handling such conflict is equitability in distribution of resources. You can equitably reduce or distribute resources, and this help handle or help deal with those conflicts that might come through, like interdepartmental conflicts. What other method can we use? Let me hear your contributions. Yes, providing adequate resources. Yeah, that is can handle. You can have conflict resolution mechanisms. Conflict resolution mechanisms, which is to be used to handle conflict in organization, like coming to do with things like compromise. How do you bring conflicting departments to compromise? Like they are willing to yield ground so that it reduces that problem of that is being that issue that causes problem. What other method can we use? You can initiate discussion between the conflicting groups so that they have an environment of that they can be able to talk out the issues that affect them and handle them. Then also you can create an environment that leads to avoidance of conflict situations. Create an environment that leads to avoidance of conflict situations. So in the first place, you put mechanisms that, like ensuring equitability, ensuring adequate resources are available, ensuring that when distribution, there are various teams, representatives from different departments are there when resources are being distributed or when negotiating on issues that might affect the interdepartment, various departments. So you ensure that there is representation from all the departments when matters that affect every group is being discussed or is being handled. So best way of handling those group conflicts is maybe use of compromise or avoiding conflicts or coming up with tactics to suppress conflict situations. Next question. Let's look at the next question. Explain 4 functions of public relation department in an organization. Public relation department is a department that deal with or ensure that there is a positive or good relationship in organization, especially with outside parties. So what are their key functions? What are the functions of PR departments? What are the functions of public relation department? What are the functions of PR department? What are the functions of public relation department? Let me hear your contribution, because we have, I believe, up to this stage, we know what a PR is or public relation is, and what are some of the roles that they play. Yes, very good, Caroline. They maintain mutual relationship, understanding between organization and the public. That's very good. That's very good point. You can take that. Yes, someone else. Someone else. What are the let me hear your contributions. Let me hear your contribution. Let me get more contributions. Not just one contribution. Catherine. Catherine, can you give us one more contribution? What are the functions of PR department in an organization? What are the They also, you can see that they also enhances media relation. That is, they create positive relationship between the business and the media. You know how media normally are powerful groups in society. Any information that they carry can be of a great impact to organization. They ensure that there is a positive relationship between organization and the media. Caroline, that is also another very important point. Thank you for that, Caroline. Improves the channels of communication. So how you can be able to communicate and communicate effectively. So this is also a very important contribution. Jane Sarah, you can give us another point. Can give us another point, Jane? What are the functions of PR department? PR department are also they are responsible for creating a positive image of the firm among the public. They're ensuring creation and maintenance of positive image. Creation and maintenance of positive image among the public, especially if there is an issue that might be controversial. It is the PR department's responsibility to ensure that the image of the company is maintained or is not dented. So that is also an important aspect or role that the PR department plays. Let me hear at least one last one. One last, give advice to top management. So they see the advice top management. Advice, no, you need to be specific. Advise them on what? What kind of advice? So yes, they do that, but also you can say they advise top management on matters relating to this and this and that, okay? That's also a good contribution. Then Jen is saying that they help raise awareness about the organization, awareness in the sense of what? Awareness to who? Awareness to the public. So in other words, they can market the organization. They market the organization. So that's the awareness that is more or less promotional. They act as a promotional. They promote the company in terms of its products, in terms of its services, and the brands. So that's also very good. Creation of awareness about organization and its products and its activities to the public. Yes, they create awareness or raise awareness about the organization's products, its services to the public. So that's a good contributions. Yeah, those are quite enough. You can pick them. Then also we have question number 13. Let's look at this one. Identify the levels of Maslow's hierarchy of needs, giving an example of each case. Yes. Levels of Maslow's hierarchy. We have basic needs, and a good example is food, yes. Under basic needs are also known as the physiological needs. Good example are food, very good. We have shelter, very good. We have clothing. We have those things that we require in basic capacity. Now, in organizations, for example, what are the basic things that employees desire and that organization can give? One salary. That is the salary that supply the basic requirement of any person. Or companies can give housing or house allowances that give them a place where they can accommodate themselves in such kind of things. What else do we have? A basic thing in organization. Yes, staff meals, staff tea, all those kind of things. You find that they are necessary. They are necessary to enhance that basic requirement or basic needs at that level. Let's get the second level. Let's get the second level. Let's get the second level. The second level is yes, very good. Safety needs. Safety needs, very good. Safety needs. Safety needs. What do we consider as safety needs? Generally, in general life, safety need is a secure living environment. Talk of a secure living environment. Things to do with job security. Things to do with job security. What else do we have here? Yes, job contract, of course. Job security is in contract. Yes, health insurance. Health insurance, Medical cover, yes. Medical cover, those are very important because one wants to be sure that tomorrow, if something happens to their health, they can be able to take care of it. These are very important aspects in organization. We need job security, we need medical cover, we need health insurance, we need even retirement benefits, for example, where they can be able to save for retirement so that they know that when they retire, they will not get into poverty. Such kind of things, very important. What else? So let's look at the third level. Third level is social need. Very good. Social needs can also be known as belongingness needs. These are needs that motivate people to want to belong to specific groups, to belong to a family, not to be ostracized or to be considered outsiders. People want to identify themselves with important group in their lives. So in organizations, how do we provide these needs? How do we provide these needs? How do we provide the social needs? How do we provide social needs? We can do that by allowing people to join groups, work groups, for example. Work groups, that is, people can be able to participate in a work group whereby they can contribute, like maybe if there is a product development group, for example, if there is a project that is being done, then they can be able to join on those groups. Another way is through team building activities. People join particular teams where they can be able to work as a team. or they can be able to motivate each other in a team. Then, of course, very important, allow employees to form informal groups. Allow informal groups to thrive in the organization. Don't suppress them as managers. Not suppress informal groups, but give them an environment where such groups can thrive, and that can use such groups to enhance organization's effectiveness. What else? What other way can we enhance social groups, social needs? Yes, the next level of needs. Can we get the next level of needs as far as Maslow is concerned? Next level of needs. Esteem needs, yes. Yes, esteem needs are these are needs for recognition. People need for job titles, need for need for status. Very good, Caroline. Need for status. Need for status. Needs to have influence over other people. Very good need for respect. So organizations normally do it by giving employees job titles, that you are the head of this and that. You are responsible for this. At times you might be given to be a project leader. You participate in a task force, for example. Yes, recognizing good performance, promotion to a higher level, even locating offices. Like people have to be given an office that say, this is my office, this is my area of my workstation, my office, awarding good performance or rewarding good performance. Like somebody can be given certificate, they can be given a trophy as a way of recognizing that they did something great. Appointing them to be in charge of a particular group. For example, being given a team to manage, a team to supervise. That is some of the esteem needs you can find. The last level of need is hierarchy. The top level in the hierarchy is a self-actualization, where one can be able to reach their fullest potential. They can be able to apply their ability and their interest to function in an environment where they are free from manipulation. They can reach the best out of the best of what they can achieve. For this level of need in organization, you find that allowing teams to be creative and do their work with a high degree of independence. And another way is that organization can encourage employees to expand their capability by either maybe registering to certain courses or increasing their career capability by maybe enrolling in courses, and that improve their skills. That is in career development. So those are important aspects that you need to remember. So remember those other aspects of motivation. In relation to what's back to factor 3, highlight 5 factors that may contribute to employees' satisfaction. factors that contribute to employee satisfaction according to Wurzbach two-factor theory. One is recognition. If you recognize our employees' contribution, then that is a motivator. Another thing, yes, someone is writing. I can see Caroline is putting down something. So employees recognition, that is very good. Even promoting employees can be a good one. The work itself can be a very good motivator. Yes, you have a question. You have a question, Caroline? Yeah, you can ask. You can ask or you can write the question there. Yes, you can ask the question. Yes, we are waiting for your question. Meanwhile, as we are waiting for the question, we can talk of recognition as one way, the job itself, the work itself, giving challenging tasks to employees can be a source of motivation. So we talk of recognition, we talk of advancements, we talk of achievements, we talk of giving responsibility to workers, to employees, allowing them to access information that they can be able to use to perform their work. And also the work itself should be a motivator. Now we can see the question of Caroline that Hi, Caroline. So what I'm saying is that you need to give them as a hierarchy because Abraham Maslow's is normally a hierarchy. You need to give them from the lowest level to the highest level so that it is quite distinct. And also, sometimes examiners think that maybe you have copied from someone when you give them like you start with maybe social level, social needs, then you go to esteem, then you come back to safety. You need to give them as a hierarchy because that is what the theorist, that was the picture he wanted to give. So you start from the lowest to the highest. That's why you normally see that drawing. The drawing is a pyramid-like prism, which allows you to be able to explain. So it is in different levels. So you start with the lowest level, which is the basic needs, then follow it in that order. So it is important to do it in that order so that you don't give the examiner an excuse not to give you marks. And also, you see this question is asking, identify the levels of Maslow's hierarchy of needs, giving an example for each. When you ask like that, then you must be able to identify those levels. So it's very important. So it's also very important sometimes that you might have to even to sketch it by drawing those levels. I hope it's well understood. So with regard to those questions, I think they are well answered. Let's do this last two, and we can now call it quits for today. Explain 5 strategies that management of an organization may adopt to enhance employees' positive attitude towards change. Explain 5 strategies that management may adopt to enhance employees' positive attitude towards change. Did we look at change management? Did we undertake change management? Oh, very good. Did we? So the key thing about change is that one needs to communicate change in advance. Communication is important. When a change is about to take place, then communicate to your employees about the change, and also ensure that each one of them is familiar with the variable of change, that where will change come? Is it in the arrangement or in the setup of the office? Is it in leadership of various positions? Is it that someone new is coming to the organization? Is it what kind of change? So the variable of change should also be well communicated to communicate about the impending change, let them know about the variables of change, then also give adequate reasons why the change is coming. Give adequate reasons why the change is coming. So in other words, you need to prepare your team about the change that is about to take place. And then also to avoid resistance to change, always involve employees involve them or allow them to participate on formulation or maybe in implementation of the change programs. For example, if something new is about to come, then involve them. let them be part of the change. So in this case, they will be able to to own it up, or to be agree, or to allow it to, or it will give them a soft landing as far as the change is concerned. Let's look at these other questions. This last one. Explain 4 reasons that make it necessary for managers to understand the area of personality. This is the importance of personality to a manager. Why should managers understand personality? This is just asking the importance of personalities to managers. Why should managers understand personality? Why should managers understand personality? What do you think? Let me hear your contributions. Then we can end the discussion. Why should managers understand personality? Is personality help managers to understand the people they are dealing with? It helps to understand. It helps managers to understand the people they are dealing with. They know what are their temperaments, what are the issues that concern them, what are their likings and dislikes, and this helps them in handling conflicts among them. This helps them in handling conflict. That is good, Caroline. It helps in managing conflict. Then also it helps managers to know how to deal with different characters, different people, because people are not the same. You cannot treat everyone in the same way. So when you understand personality, it will give you that knowledge on how to deal with different peoples. What else? What else could be a reason for understanding personality? They can get to know how people adjust to their environment. They can help to know how employees adjust to their environment and assist them into coping with different situations. They're also able to understand the psychology of humans. They can understand the psychology of humans, and so that they can respond to the dynamic aspect of the environment around them, so that they can understand the dynamic aspects or respond to dynamic aspect of the environment. Then also they can be able to distinguish personality traits like honesty, trust, respect, responsibility, leadership, loyalty, and this allow them to allocate duties. This allows managers to allocate duties because of the understanding of the personality aspect. Managers can allocate duties to different employees depending on their different abilities and their different personality traits. So when the manager understands those key aspects of personalities, then they can be effective in allocation of duties. Are we together? Is there any question before we decide whether to proceed or to go home? Any question? There is a part of the same paper, question number 14. So what do you think? We go home? We have been up online for almost 2.5 hours. This question asks, explain 4 reasons that make it necessary for managers to understand area of personality. I think that one we have looked at. Then part B says that explain the meaning of term group as used in human relation. And then explain 5 factors that may enhance group formation. So these remaining ones, I'm going to put them on the portal on that revision area so that you can take a look at them later on, right? I'm going to put them so that you can be able to look at them later on, okay? Are we together? Very good. So I think we can now end the conference, but before we end it, in case I'll just send you the marks, your marks for the cut on your message. Or just type it on the message and send it to each and every person. I'll send to each and every person.
You are currently the only person in this conference.